Hey everybody, Coach Diamond here, and in this video we're going to talk about ActiveCampaign and how to use ActiveCampaign to identify the top #1 area of your business that you should spend your time. And in order to do this, I want to make sure we're all on the same page with understanding what a funnel is, and then we'll move on to the ActiveCampaign demonstration. So a funnel is the path that a potential customer takes from the moment they know that you exist in the world all the way until they purchase from you. So I call it a funnel train because there's many different places from the time they hear about you until the time they purchase. They make micro decisions along the way to continue to consume and continue to consider what you are offering. So an example of a funnel train could be you run an ad, and that ad call tells a customer to call you. And when that customer calls you, perhaps then you have a short consultation with them, a free 15-minute call to decide if they want to continue to work with you. And after that call, maybe you have a secondary follow-up call, and then finally is the purchase point. So at any point of that funnel, from you ran the ad until they found out about you, these are trackable numbers. And we can use ActiveCampaign to track along this funnel train what stops are the stops that people are getting off. What are the places that you are losing them? And when we do that, you can actually focus your time, effort, and energy on that #1 stop, maximizing that to help get your train going again so people make it all the way to the end of purchase. So how do we do this easily? Let's move to ActiveCampaign, and I'm going to show you how. When you're in ActiveCampaign, basically you're going to come down to this deals button here on the left, this $sign. Click on this caret and then basically add a pipeline. I already added one. I called it new pipeline. And what happens when you add a pipeline is you get these stages that end up populating themselves here. In order to change the stage name, you click on this gear icon, click edit the stage, and I would edit to whatever is happening at this particular stage. So let's say here you have ads online and they book a call with you due to your ads online. So you want this first stage to be them booking a call with you. You can make it so that if they book a call with you with an online booking schedule, they are actually, with your online booking calendar, it's actually connected to ActiveCampaign, and the potential customer ends up here automatically. Look for my YouTube video in the show notes called Zapier ActiveCampaign Integration, where I show you how to do that. Now, they will end up here, and when they end up here, you will see them here. I'm going to add them here. And so basically, what's going to wind up is they're going to end up here. They have to have their email in order to actually end up here. You cannot put somebody in ActiveCampaign with their email. So make sure if they're booking a call with you, they are giving you your email so that they can end up here automatically. I'll show you how to integrate that automatic connection in another video. And essentially then what you can do is when you get on the call with them, you can basically click on their deal. You can come down and add a note about, what you talked about. And say they wanted to set up a follow-up call to talk more, you scroll up, you go to the right here, you add a task, and you can say, follow up with them in 1 week. And so basically then you will come down to the due date, you will select it a week from now, and you will add the task. Now when I go back to my deals, you can see that the deal is here and that there's a 7-day task reminder here. When you are on the day, when the day is due for the task, that 7 days will turn into green text, and when it's overdue, it'll turn into red text. So I can put them here because they are thinking about it. And then if I do reach out to them and they say, yes, I do want a follow-up call, then I put them here. My goal of this stage of my funnel train is to get the follow-up call scheduled. So then basically I can come over and mark them as 1. And so that is telling me the follow-up call is scheduled. If I come down to reports then, basically I'm going to then come over to deal reports, go to overview. I'm going to pick my pipeline, which is the new pipeline. And then basically what I'm gonna wind up doing is I'm gonna see how many deals I created, so how many potential customers booked a call with me, and how many people got that follow-up call. And so when I do that, that is telling me, okay, well, what's happening on that initial call is really great. And so from there, if I come back over to my deals and track the next stage of my funnel train by doing deals, coming to this carrot, making a new pipeline, and now I can say, started with the end of the last pipeline, so follow up call scheduled, and then I can say, became a client. And to delete a stage you don't need, just go to this gear, hit delete stage, and it'll go away. So now we can say, okay, well, we have test deal at the follow-up call. And so basically, once we do test deal at the follow-up call, let's say they became a client. So I can move them over here to became a client, and then click and drag. When I click and drag up, these one lost buttons appear, and I will drop it under one. I will go back to my reports. I will come down to deal reports and overview, and then I will basically go to my pipeline, one client, and then I will see, okay, well, in this stage, one deal was created, one was won. So basically what this is teaching you is that if you build out these funnel trains in your CRM, you can wind up tracking different parts of your customer journey. So if that first initial call, when people were booking a call online and they scheduled their follow-up call, if I run a report like this on that particular pipeline and I see here that 10 deals were created and 0 deals were won, I know that that's a big number one problem in my business. If basically I come over to pipeline one client and I say, okay, well, 5 were created and 4 were won, then I know that I'm doing pretty good at that part of my business. So in this particular example, I need to focus more on perfecting what is happening on that first initial call so that my customer sees the value of what I'm doing more than the second part of what happens on that follow-up call. So you can do this for any business. And the other thing that's really amazing is that when we come to deals and we come to our pipeline that we created, let's say they're thinking about it. And if they're thinking about it, maybe we want to nurture them. Maybe we want to send them follow-up information and text and emails so that we can make sure to stay in their head, make sure that they're thinking about us, give them a lot of extra value so they see how valuable we are. And so we can basically make it so there's automations that happen. So if I put a potential customer, if I drop them into this stage, it's triggering a whole email sequence on the back end. So let me show you in the video called Active Campaign Automations, examples of what you can set up on the back end to nurture your customers as they're going through the pipeline on their journey to become your client. So look in the show notes for that as far as automation is concerned. I also want to make sure that you guys know that I do own a business coaching school. I have everybody in the show notes. You'll see how to find my video on Active Campaign Automations, as well as my video on Active Campaign and Zapier, and how to use Zapier as a tool to link Active Campaign to your other tech programs. I'm Coach Diamond. I own bitchtoboss.com as well as several other businesses. I coach women around the world how to build and scale a business they love with also creating a lifestyle that they design. Check out my work at bitchtoboss.com, and I'll see you in the next video.